Today's edition of From Our Own Correspondents, a segment dedicated to the top stories reported on during the week in various regions. You must make it a point to get yourself abreast with the major happenings in the country in the course of the week. Today we start in the Central Region with Richard Kojo-Nyako. Richard, tell us about the biggest issues in the Central Region this week. Richard, please unmute your microphone.
Yes.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay, so the biggest issue for me in the Central Region this week was what happened at the Jumakun, accusations and counter-accusations that led to some clash of a sort. The NDC accusing the MPP and the MPP accusing the NDC. It all started on Wednesday, where the canopy under which the Electoral Commission officials were working under was pulled down, and some other things vandalized, including some vehicles at the registration center at Jumakun. So there were some allegations by the NDC that the MPP candidate for that area, Rashidi Tuafo, had organized some tax to go and cause that kind of confusion there. And so in a sharp rebuttal, the NDC also organized a press conference, and then they accused the transport minister. They also accused Mr. Lord Comey and other MPP officials of being in a meeting and masterminding this kind of violence. Today, in the last hour, the MPP has also been holding a similar press conference debunking the allegations by the NDC yesterday in that press conference. But this is not the first time we've witnessed such confusion in the Jumakun ever since the registration started. There were other things as well. About 3 such incidents have occurred. All of that surrounded or they are about people busing other people to one registration center or the other. The MPP in their press conference this afternoon indicated that they buzzed some people to some of the registration center, and these people are not indigenous. They are not people from Jumakun, and so that is why they perceive that those actions did occur in that particular area. But no arrest has since been made. We went to the police. We were at the police regional headquarters to ask them what they were doing about it. Indeed, they confirmed that something of this sort, a clash, had really happened at Jumaku, but they are also investigating, and so they are inviting the general public, whoever has any information, to get to the police with that, so the police can move swiftly to cause the arrest or can even help them in their investigation. And so this is the biggest story. You know, in the Central Region, since the registration started, apart from Kaswa, where we had the issue which Madam Hawa Kumsin was involved, Jumaku Enyan Isiam constituency has been one hotbed in the Central Region that we are registering these pockets of violence. And so for Jumaku and Kaswa, these are the hotspots in the Central Region as we speak now, but the registration has ended.
Now, Richard, take us back to Jumaku, because I want to understand what makes this place a hotspot. Who are the candidates involved? I understand that the NDC candidates is quite notable.
Yes, so we have KCL Atoforsen. He is the incumbent and the NDC candidate for this particular area, and this is his 3rd attempt for that seat. But he's been the incumbent since 2008, and so this will be his 3rd time if he succeeds in winning the seat. And then we have a new face, Rashidi Tuafo. He's a young, enterprising individual, and connoisseurs within that constituency and political watchers feel that the seat could go either way. The incumbent could lose the seat, and then the one who is a major challenger in this election could also win or lose. So it could go either way. So it is a too close to call contest. And so that is why the place is fast becoming a hotbed. But hitherto, Jumakun was not that hot. But with this president election, a lot of things are happening in the constituency, and we are keeping our eyes closely on the development in that particular constituency.
Thank you very much, Richard Kojo-Nyako, for bringing us the latest from the Central Region. Elections and the voter registration featuring heavily there. Next on the list is Albert Story from the Upper East Region. Now, Albert will be telling us about the Bagri Dam spillage. Albert, tell us more about this.
Yes, so 2 days ago, NADMO announced that they've received information from authorities in Burkina Faso that this year again, they will be spilling the Bagre Dam. Now, last year, we didn't have effects of the Bagre Dam because it wasn't spilled that much. But the information we are getting now is that the rains there have been heavy. And so anytime from now, the dam is going to be spilled. And so NADMO is beginning to take steps to help people who are along the waterways of the Volta Lake, which usually is the area that gets affected when the dam is spilled. They are helping these people to prepare for the effects of the spillage. Now, what NADMO is saying is that they've launched Operation Thunderbolt, which they are going to do this. And I think that looking at what has happened in the past, this is something that will help a lot of the people. The challenge is that every year the farmers still go to the lands they have around the waterways to do their farming. And they do this with the hope that if they are lucky, they'll be able to harvest before the dam is spilled. Or if they are very lucky, then the dam may not even be spilled at all. And so their crops will be spared. And so I've been talking to some of them, just calls on the phone because of my previous contact with them. And as at 2 days ago, when NADMO first made the announcement, most of them had not yet heard that the dam was going to be spilled. So the expectation is that with the preparations NADMO is making, they'll be able to help these people before the dam is spilled.
Right.
A while ago, I was talking to the regional NADMO director, Jerry Asamani, and he told me that they have not yet started spilling the dam. And so there's still some time for us to prepare.
When are they expected to begin the spillage, and by which period is NADMO giving itself? Has that communication been made clear?
Yes. What NADMO has said is that between now and 16th of August, they will do the trainings for the farmers who usually get affected. They will do some training for them between now and that time. And for the Upper East Region, the training will take place between 13th of August and then 15th. Now, this will be next week, by which time, if the dam is spilled, we may not see the effect for some time, because what happens is that usually the water from the Bagre Dam alone is not enough to cause the destruction that we see. What happens is that we also usually have a lot of rains in the Upper East Region between August and September. We usually have so many heavy rains. And so when the Bagre Dam is also spilled, then you have so much destruction caused to farms along the area. So this is what we are looking at. For now, they haven't started, but as at the time they released the statement, which was 2 days ago, they said that the dam had reached the 34.62 mark, and the depth it reaches, the water reaches before they start spilling, is 34.75. So it's not
inching closer,
that much left for the spillage to start. So it could be any time in the coming days.
Right, Albert, we will definitely be coming back to you for updates on that, and stay safe out there. Let's move to the Savannah region to look at one of the biggest stories nationwide this week. Isaac Nonya has been very busy on the network reporting on Indera Jakpa Senior High Technical School, and he's joining us on telephone. So Isaac, we've done a lot of the news reportage throughout the day about how these students, went on rampage, destroyed school property. But take us into the township where the school is. How have the people been receiving the news?
Damago even though this is not a new thing to them. Because India has suffered a similar thing years back. But one, it has delayed and this has come. Many residents, particularly those staying around the school, are not happy. Some have moved onto the school and they are still coming. As I stand right on campus here, I've seen a couple of residents with some tutors who are asking questions to know the cause of what really happened. So we are also told that the king of Gonjala will be sending a delegation to the school between now and next week Monday to find out from the students directly as to the cause of the reactions to the damaging of properties and what have you. So generally, residents who have heard of this thing, either radio or TV, are not happy about the reactions of the students.
Right. What about parents? I know you've had the opportunity to visit the school campus on a number of occasions since this began. Have you met any parents? What has been the reaction from that front?
Well, those people that we met from day one up to now, we could not tell whether any of them was a parent or not. A lot of them are males, fathers, prospective fathers who have come to Ilebra Japa the very night the incident happened and the following morning. But we try to know how many of them were parents or just ordinary residents. That we couldn't tell. Okay. But when the general picture is very gloom, it's possible that parents, if parents was among them, they equally will not be happy of the incident because these are students that they have moved in and trying that when they pass well, they come and sustain livelihood within the family house.
Now, the MCE, we understand, was a teacher of the school, and he made a few comments about punishment. What did he say?
Yes, the MCE, having known the school for years, I think he was right by his answer. Because according to him, he was very shocked. Shocked because he did not expect students who have enjoyed what we call free education, and the last tale of it, their parents will be billed to pay money that is not supposed to pay. He also thought that at least if you have any problem, sit down with the school management, communicate with them, and then your grievances will be addressed. We also realized that yesterday, the MC, being the Mr. Chairman, together with the school management, met with the student leadership. And we are told the students show some remorse, and they will be issuing a statement apologizing to the school and then residents of Damango.
Okay, we know the... Right, let's take a listen to the MCE first of all, then we'll come back.
Particular school until my appointment as the municipal chief executive. It saddens me that such a thing has happened in Ndeura Jakwa Senior High Technical School, and it's going to be a debt, a scar on 2020 candidates of Ndeura Jakwa Senior High. It's going to be a scar on you forever and ever. I am very, very, very surprised that such a thing will happen at a time that you need to concentrate in your exams. Exams is part of every student's activity. You have to go through it. It is what makes you what you want to be in the future. Last night, I have to beg the VRA to put on the lights because whether you demonstrated or not, it wouldn't stop the exam from going on. It wouldn't stop it. All schools in Ghana will write. West is in their school will not write. That is West. But I know that no matter the situation, because you yourselves, after going back to lie down, you would have thought over your actions. And today, this early morning, as at 6:30, we were here. To my surprise, I saw a lot of you already in uniform, ready to write. What have you done to yourselves? you have harmed yourself than any other person that you wanted your grievances to be heard. Today, the paper, it will be starting at 8:30. Here we are, talking to you to be sober. I want to, on behalf of the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to wish you all the best in these exams. Government has done what it can do to put you in a situation that you have a better future. Today, what happened? If the school is going to take assessment of the level of distractions that you've made, and they want to bill you at the end of the day, and that one will happen, whether yes or no. When you are coming for your results, you are not going to come in a mob. You are going to come individually to come and pick your certificate. And that is when the bill will be imposed on you, and you will not even have the access of getting your results on the internet, because the school block it at the end of the day.
You're still live here on The Pulse, and this is from our correspondents. We're going across the country to speak with all our regional correspondents to find out, the biggest story that was reported in that part of the country this week. Isaac Nonya is still with us, and Isaac, we understand the Municipal Director of Education of West Gonja, Ferguson Ake, did not have kind words for the students.
Mr. Ferguson Ake was speaking in regard of what really happened the very night that he was not around. He was also speaking on behalf of the directorate, where he has to remind the students of their reason of being on campus. And instead of doing that, they were doing the opposite. So he was using the opportunity to cite them to be able to continue with the rest of the papers, to write well, and nevertheless come for their punishment.
Right, let's take a listen now.
And we are in the news all over the country. It's rather unfortunate. I wish it didn't happen. And we have a lot of communication channels. If you have any issue, we expect you to address such issues to the management. But you went on rampage, destroying properties and what have you. That is so bad. And the whole directorate is not happy about what has happened. And I will not miss words. I'm really disappointed. But you are here to write. We want to encourage you to concentrate on your paper and write. Examination is just a process to climb higher. It is not do and die affair. We have all gone through this process. So I don't even understand why you should even be complaining about the spacing. Look at it. We're here on Monday, and we realize even compared to other schools we went to, yours is even closer. So the regional director will be here. We'll be looking at the issues, and any decision will be communicated to you. But I would like to appeal to you that you should calm down. This is your future. Anything you do today will affect you for life. Because of what you have done, there will be a lot of attention even concerning the papers that will be coming from this center. And it will not help you at the end of the day. So I'm appealing to you, when you finish this paper, go back calmly and continue studying. Because yesterday you were supposed to actually study for today's paper. I'm an examiner when it comes to social studies. And I don't even know what's your problem concerning this paper that you went on rampage and you are destroying properties.
You can see the students, they're looking very remorseful in their seats. Now, Martina Bogui will connect from the northern region, where she'll be telling us about an unfortunate killing at Chogu Manaile and the Tamale Senior High School riot. Martina, let's begin with the Chogu killing. What happened?
We are told that a thief stole some cattle and tied them at the Nobisco forest, and the community got wind of it and then picked him up. Now they brought him to the chief palace. They apparently wanted to lynch him, so the chief called the assemblyman to get the police to intervene. The police were invited, and when they came, there was a scuffle between the police and the community because the community insisted they would lynch the man. And so the police, in their bid to rescue the man, shot, we are told, shot somebody. But when I spoke to the police, they denied shooting the person. They are saying that an object hit him. But later on, the regional crime officer admitted that it was a gunshot, but they are unable to tell where the gunshot came from. Now, yesterday, the family of the deceased were at the legal aid office. They are looking at possibly taking legal action, but they are also appealing to the Ghana government through the Interior Minister and the IGP to get a committee instituted to investigate into the matter and ensure that those involved in the killing of their son be brought to book. As we are speaking now, the family is at the morgue where the autopsy is being carried on, Daniel.
Now, Martina, Tamale has also seen its own riots at Tamale Senior High School, to be specific.
Yes.
So help us understand what happened.
We are told that on Tuesday, after the science paper, the students mobilized themselves between 50 and 100. They were going to attack the exams officer, who they alleged was too strict and didn't allow them have their way to copy. Now they were intercepted. I spoke to an eyewitness, and he said when he was asking the students, where are you going? They said they are going to destroy the master's bungalow, destroy his family and all that. He asked what was happening. He said the person didn't really have time to explain. They were too in a hurry to go and then show their their might. But they were stopped by their senior house master and some other masters. They were spoken to. The headmaster was brought in, and then they were able to calm situations. The police were invited into the scene, and they managed to neutralize everything. I spoke to the exams officer involved, and he says that
right, Martina Bugri there with that report, and you can imagine that's one of the big stories we had this week regarding these riots. Let's go to listen to a similar story in the Ashanti region. Nanayao Jima joins us. Nanayao, unfortunately, Chinibwakodia Senior High School also saw some chaos with, a lot of students complaining about exams. Take us into that situation itself.
So after the first part of the integrated science paper on Monday, the students went BSEC because, according to them, the invigilators were being too strict on them. And this is something that a lot of people, including the teachers themselves, do not understand. They kept asking students about what they mean by being too strict, but students will not give vivid explanation of that. So after the first part of the paper, some students who believe that the teachers and the invigilators did not treat them fairly and went straight to the DCE's office to complain and also ask him to remove the headmaster from the school. And the DCE was able to calm students who were threatening to boycott the second part of the paper. Other students who did not go to the DCE's office but were supposed to go for that dining that afternoon went into the dining hall and they furiously refused the food they were given and toppled over the furniture in the dining hall and also threw away the food and the saucepan they were served in as well. So the DCE and other authorities, traditional authorities in the area, Kumaru to be precise, calmed down the students, and after 2 hours or more, they went back in to sit for the paper. So the second part of the integrated science paper actually delayed for more than 2 hours. And later, we had interview with students on Insura FM morning show, and some of the students admitted that they had questions. That's the questions they were supposed to write in the second part from some friends in other schools.
Okay, so because of the delay, they saw the questions. But Nanaya, when these students spoke to you on Insura FM, was there any remorse for what they had done?
Some of the students were remorseful. I went to the school personally to look at or observe what's happening. Some students were remorseful, but others, in their actions, I didn't feel any remorse. And some actually believe that the headmaster will not be taken away, or the headmaster will continue to be part of the team supervising the examination. So they actually were, very furious and want the headmaster to be taken off. So in the manner they spoke, everything shows that some of the students were not remorseful. A few of them were remorseful, but subsequently, we know that the students have apologized publicly and they say they will continue the exam peacefully and not, show any signs or, do what they did to delay the examination again.
Tell us more about this public apology. So was it a statement? Did the school prefect speak? What happened?
So the school prefect in the open, in the presence of the district chief executives and other authorities, addressed or read something that they had written, a paper they had written to the public, and through that they apologized to the general public, to the whole of the country, to the education ministry, and also school authorities and district chief executive himself for the action they took on the Monday when, after writing the first part of the paper.
Nana Ojima, thank you very much. Let's stay in the Ashanti region. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has also connected. Mahmoud, you have the floor. Right, we'll connect with Mahmoud very, very shortly. Peter Senu is our next correspondent from the Oti region. Now, in the past weeks, Oti region has been very busy because of the voter registration. Has it been the same this week, or some other big stories have come up? Right, Peter, your microphone is muted. What are the big stories you've covered this week?
Well, the shooting incident at the Kodibenu Registration Center this week, that was Sunday, and then following up with other stories, in fact, related stories in the week.
Right. Explain to us what happened in that shooting incident. That has to do
with alleged intimidation from national security operatives who are monitoring. Yeah, on Sunday, we picked an information that there was a shooting incident at Kodibenu in the Akan constituency in the Oti region. And so we followed up to the registration center to gauge the mood and then see exactly what had happened to those who have been arrested. And then those who were present, the NDC and MPP agents present spoke to us, and then they expressed their frustration as to what exactly transpired before the people were arrested. And so interacting with some of the national security operatives, for them, I'm told their operation is to, when they get the intel, they move in and prevent. And so that is how come we see the somewhat helplessness of the police on the ground versus the, so to say, taken over by the national security operatives. And then we also follow the issues of alleged Togolese coming in to register. Of course, yes, I have seen evidence to that effect, that some of them possess Togo IDs on them. And then some of them have also confessed being Togolese. And so these issues are currently in court, and then the court will make its pronouncement on some of these issues in the coming weeks.
Hold on, Peter. So you saw someone with a Togolese ID on him attempting to register?
No, this is evidence I have seen from other sources. Let me say the national security I have seen. Evidence to that effect of people who are in court currently who possess Togo ID cards and then other documents with them.
Okay. Right. Peter, in that case, wrap up with us on these stories and then we move on.
Yeah, so why the Akan constituency being so heated up, I must say this is a must look for constituency in that His Excellency Rashid Bawa, the Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria, is back to the constituency to contest in the upcoming parliamentary elections. And he's going against NDC's, I would say, not known in the frontline politics. And so looking at him as a big wig and then an underdog coming up, it's going to be a fiercely contested constituency and an election in the region here. And so that is how come the tension is building up. Of course, Rashid Bawa, His Excellency, wouldn't want to lose, having lost out in 2004 and then has since gone to contest in the Denton constituency, and now he's back to his native constituency to contest. And so these are the dynamics on the grounds that are playing out, and then that may be heightening the somewhat tension we have witnessed, characterizing the just ended registration exercise. Daniel.
Peter, thank you so much for bringing us the latest from the Oti region. Let's go to the Bono East region, where Anas Sabit has also reported from his fair share of student riots. Now, these were threats of demonstrations at Ekunfiamayao in the Techman North District, right?
Exactly, Daniel. We all know after the first paper, which is the integrated science paper on Monday, there were reports of violent acts across some schools in the country. Well, in the Techman North District, where the Ekunfiamayao Senior High School is located, we received reports or rumors, or we gathered that these students were also planning to demonstrate against some external invigilators whom, according to these students, intimidated them throughout the very first paper they wrote. So they were geared up to, oppose to some of the alleged intimidations they went through the hands of this invigilator within the first paper. Should he report again for yesterday's paper, which is the social studies paper. And so we got to the school a bit earlier to ascertain the situation on the ground. And we also met the district authorities led by the district chief executive, together with the district education director, Mrs. Teresa Pregu, who have also decided to visit the school to ascertain first-hand information whether those rumors we have also heard were true or the opposite. We confirmed the situation from the headmaster and then some of the teachers, indicating that the students were not happy with what happened earlier. Among some of the alleged intimidations the students talk about has to do with the invigilator instructing them to, in fact, not to use the urinary or the washrooms when they want to do so. He instructed, or he insisted, that they do so in the open, and this, according to them, is not supposed to be entertained, and so they were prepared to oppose that kind of treatment. But the timely intervention of the district authorities led by the DCE saved the day, as we saw him as early as 7:30 a.m. speaking to the students, assuring them or informing them that they will not be subjected to that kind of treatment in the subsequent papers, and the students were quite relieved with those assurances, and so their decision to demonstrate were, not being implemented, or they had to do away.
So they did not demonstrate. That's good to know. Take us to another school, the Kintampo College of Education, which has its own set of challenges, particularly with accommodation.
Yes, this particular school is a tertiary institution that is being faced with lots of challenges, especially with accommodation. Most of these students, a significant percentage of them, stay outside the campus, and this is serving as a security threat to the authorities, because day in and day out there are reports of students being attacked, girls being raped, or students, female students being raped, and in some instances there are so many students are unable to stay on campus deep into the night because of fear of being attacked. All this is happening when the school is currently having an abandoned hostel facility that was started somewhere in the year 2007 by the erstwhile Kufuor administration. The director of the school, Dr. Odise, told us this facility, when completed, will be able to accommodate at least 400 students, and this being left there is causing a lot of problems for the school. So they were calling on authorities to swiftly come to the school and then complete this particular structure to save the day. So that is another major story we looked at this week. And I want to wrap up with this issue where the health authorities in the region are reporting that over 50 health workers in the region contracted the COVID-19 disease. And almost all these health workers are not picking this disease from the health facilities they are working from, because most of these health workers from the facilities they are working, they do not even have confirmed COVID-19 cases. So that means they're picking it from the community they are coming from. And this is a sort of worry for the regional health director, Adumakon Boateng.
Thank you so much, Anna Sabit, coming to us from the Bono East region. We end with the Upper West region. Rafiq Salam joins us with an update. Rafiq, what have you been looking at this week? Rafiq, your microphone is muted. Right. Right. It seems like we are finding a difficulty with Rafiq's line. We'll come back when we are able to. But Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has joined us again. So Mahmoud, great. What have you been looking at this week? Right. Mahmoud, your microphone is muted.
Yes.
Great, great. So what's
it's okay now?
Yes, it's great. What are the stories you have been looking at this
Daniel,
week?
Daniel, rules are essential, especially rural rules. And so in the lack of these rules, we realize that many people remain cut off from social and economic lives. So the people of Manso in the Ashanti region are not happy their rules have not been constructed for over 3 years now since this government came into office. I mean, their concerns are that the member of parliament actually promised them that they were going to construct their rules as soon as they win power. But that is not what is happening. So from communities within the Manso area, communities like Manso Nkwanta, and among other communities have deplorable rules. So they were actually protesting against the poor nature of road and some other abandoned projects in the area.
Right, Mohammed, thank you so much for bringing us those updates from the Ashanti region. We wrap up, like I said, with Rafiq Salam, who is with us from the Upper West region. Rafiq, take us away. Right, I think you've muted the microphones again, Rafiq, unfortunately.
Hello, are you getting?
Yes, yes.
I hope you are getting me now.
Yes, yes, I am.
We are talking about 80-year-old Darapo, who is a leper. And then remember the story, the hotline documentary that was done by Sef Kwame Boateng some few months ago. And then also, which has gotten several people, CO donation coming to the aid of this octogenarian. And so, from the information that we gathered from the office, over 30,000 Ghana cedis has been donated to that cause. And so the office saw the need to open a bank account for this 80-year-old leper. And so, a couple of days ago, we were at Motori, in an Atlantis community in the West district of the Upper West Region, where that bank account was opened for the woman. And so the scene, the excitement at that particular venue was good because Darapo told us that she wasn't, at least if she dies, she will be happy because she's very, very jovial.
Right, and that was, you know, that was the scene at Motori that Rafiq was describing, and the smiling face there was that of Darapo. It's very heartwarming, I must say. Rafiq, we just saw the scenes. How did you feel, you know, meeting this woman and experiencing what she experiences?
In some obeisance, because she said that growing up, she didn't believe that she will get what she's getting today. She also having a two-bed.
Unfortunately, we seem to have a few slight internet challenges, or technical challenges, I should say, and we will bring you the entirety of that conversation a bit later.